Hello everyone, today is Thursday, November 2nd, 2023. We are bringing you the latest update on the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. The situation on the ground is intensifying by the minute. Israeli ground troops are on the move, advancing towards Gaza City in an escalation that adds a new dimension to this already complex conflict. Across the ocean, US President Joe Biden is advocating for a humanitarian pause in the fighting. The aim? To provide much-needed relief and aid to the victims of this devastating war. In line with this, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is expected to return to the region, signaling a heightened US involvement and a push for diplomatic resolution. Arab countries, meanwhile, are expressing unease with the war. This includes nations allied with the US, as well as those at peace with Israel. The broader implications of the conflict are becoming evident, as it threatens to destabilize the already precarious balance of power in the Middle East. But amidst the chaos, there is a glimmer of hope. The Rafah border crossing has been opened. This critical juncture, the sole gateway between Gaza and Egypt, is now allowing foreign passport holders and wounded Palestinians to leave Gaza. It's a small but significant step towards alleviating the humanitarian crisis unfolding in the region. As we navigate these turbulent times, it's more important than ever to stay informed. We'll continue to bring you the latest updates on the situation as it develops. Today, we leave you with this thought. In the midst of conflict, there is always room for humanity. Thank you for tuning in. The human toll of this conflict is becoming increasingly evident. As battles rage on and tensions escalate, the impact on human lives is devastating and heart-wrenching. The war's death toll on the Palestinian side has soared to a staggering 9,061, a number that continues to rise with each passing day. In addition, over 130 Palestinians have lost their lives in the occupied West Bank. On the other side of the conflict, the Israeli population has also suffered immense loss. More than 1,400 people in Israel have tragically lost their lives amidst the chaos and destruction. The war has not only claimed lives but has also seen the abduction of innocent civilians, with approximately 240 hostages taken from Israel into Gaza by Hamas. This brutal conflict has transformed everyday places into battlegrounds, and ordinary citizens into victims. Each number we mention is not just a statistic but a life cut short, a family torn apart, a community in mourning. The reach of this conflict has extended beyond just Israel and Gaza. In a recent incident, rockets were fired from Lebanon, hitting the northern Israeli town of Kiryat Shmona and injuring 2 innocent people. The reverberations of this conflict are being felt far and wide, affecting not just those directly involved in the war, but also those in neighboring regions. As we continue to keep a close eye on the developments of this conflict, we remember that behind every headline and every news report, there are human lives at stake, families affected, and communities in distress. It is the human toll of this conflict that reminds us of the urgency for peace, for dialogue, for a resolution that respects and protects human life and dignity. Let's not lose sight of the human element amidst the politics and power plays. After all, it is people, not just territories, that are under siege. In the midst of this conflict, Hamas and Hezbollah are also launching attacks. The tension escalates as we see an intensification of assaults from both sides. Hamas, the Palestinian Sunni Islamic fundamentalist group, has claimed responsibility for firing rockets from Lebanon, a move that they say is in retaliation for Israeli attacks in Gaza. The ripple effects of this conflict are far-reaching, crossing borders and stoking the flames of an already volatile situation. But it's not just Hamas that's on the offensive. Hezbollah, the Lebanese Shia Islamist political party and militant group, is also actively involved. They've been attacking Israeli positions along the Lebanon-Israel border, adding another layer of complexity to this ongoing struggle. This illustrates how the Israel-Hamas conflict is not just a two-way street, but a tangled web of regional tensions and rivalries. Amidst this chaos, civilians are bearing the brunt of the violence. A 4th dual Romanian-Israeli citizen has been confirmed to be held captive in the Gaza Strip by Hamas. This incident is a stark reminder of the human cost of this war and the innocent lives caught in the crossfire. Despite the dangers, there have been some glimmers of hope. 74 Americans with dual citizenship have been evacuated from the Gaza Strip, a small yet significant step in ensuring the safety of individuals caught up in this conflict. It's a testament to the tireless work of those striving to protect civilians amidst the chaos. As we move forward, the question remains, How will the international community respond to these escalating attacks by Hamas and Hezbollah? And more importantly, what steps can be taken to protect the innocent lives caught in the midst of this conflict? The world watches and waits, hoping for a resolution that brings peace to the region. The impact of the conflict is not only felt on the battlefield but also in shelters and among civilians. The disheartening reality of the Israel-Hamas conflict is that its effects reach far beyond the front lines. Homes, schools, and places of refuge are not spared from the violence, and the toll it takes on innocent lives is devastating. In Gaza, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, or UNRWA, has been working tirelessly to provide safe havens for those displaced by the conflict. These shelters, often repurposed from schools, have become temporary homes for countless Palestinians seeking safety. Tragically, however, even these sanctuaries are not immune to the ravages of war. In a recent incident, airstrikes have damaged 4 of these UNRWA schools-turned-shelters, a horrifying event that reportedly claimed the lives of at least 24 people. Meanwhile, the militant group Hezbollah has also thrown their hat into the ring, further complicating the conflict. In a bold move, they have claimed responsibility for a simultaneous attack on 19 Israeli positions. This action not only escalates tensions, but also widens the scope of the conflict, putting more civilians in danger, and exacerbating an already distressing humanitarian crisis. As we navigate the complexity of this ongoing conflict, it's essential to remember that behind the numbers and the political posturing, there are real people suffering. Innocent lives are caught in the crossfire, homes are destroyed, and safe havens are becoming increasingly scarce. It's a stark reminder of the profound human cost of war, and the urgent need for diplomatic solutions. This is the current state of the Israel-Hamas conflict as of today, November 2nd, 2023. To sum up the key points from today's update, the Israel-Hamas conflict continues unabated, with Israeli ground troops pressing towards Gaza City. The human toll of this war is rising, with thousands of lives lost on both sides. As the conflict escalates, Arab nations as well as international bodies like the United Nations are expressing their unease and calling for a humanitarian pause in the fighting. This war is not only a battlefield for soldiers. Civilians, shelters, and dual citizens from various countries are caught in the crossfire. The Rafah border crossing has opened, allowing foreign passport holders and wounded Palestinians to leave Gaza. Meanwhile, a significant number of dual citizens have been evacuated from the war-torn region. The conflict has spilled over Israel's borders, with rockets fired from Lebanon hitting northern Israeli towns, and Hezbollah launching attacks on Israeli positions. Amidst the chaos, hostages have been taken, shelters have been damaged, and lives continue to be lost. Stay informed and remember, every piece of news shapes our world. Until next time.